Okay, welcome to the second part introduction. This course, this is all about how to use Blackboard to its fullest. Now, the fact that you're actually watching this video kind of sort of means that you've already got that far. But, hey, let me go through it anyway. So, yes, when you fire up Blackboard and log into your course, you'll see a screen like this. I do list the things that I want you to do. And this would be kind of cool if you did this before the semester started, you know, getting a copy of the book, reading the syllabus, following that slide presentation, and then watching these introductory videos. Another task I'm going to have you do is actually introduce yourself into this. We have a discussion forum for introductions. For all weeks after that, they're going to be the same pattern. So you're going to go to this weeks section, and you'll go to a particular week, and it's going to list exactly what it is that you're going to do for that week. And typically the task's going to be just like it says here. Typically it's going to be, you know, reading the chapters, watching the video lectures, optionally doing the end of chapter exercises, but you're not turning those things in. Doing a homework assignment if there's a homework assignment due. Doing an exam or a paper if there is an exam or a paper that's due. Answering specific questions. I will ask you things that you will put in your weekly journal. And then if there's a particular online discussion forum up, I'll tell you about that as well. So that's essentially how it works. So, you know, start here, get you right what we're talking about. Course information, a little bit, this is the same stuff as we've gone over in the previous video. A little bit about me, about the book, a copy of the course syllabus, a copy of that PowerPoint slide presentation that we just had the video on, and then a copy of the course objectives, which quite frankly I just copied and pasted out of the syllabus. So please do take a minute to go through some of this. So this is the meat of the whole thing, is this week's things that are happening this week. You know, here's what I want you to do. I want you to be able to, you know, watch these introductory videos, the ones that we're doing right this very minute. I also have some supplemental material. Right now the only thing I have in there is some information about how to do APA file format, which we're going to do here slightly. You know how this works. This is the instructor announcements. I don't have any out there right now. Email. Now, email in Blackboard is called messaging, so when I say email, I really mean messaging. And I will tell you that this is the only technique that I'm going to use to send you back feedback. I'm going to send you an email on Blackboard, not your university email, not some other email. I'm using Blackboard email. That means it's up to you to log into Blackboard, particularly like Monday afternoon after I've graded the papers, and look to see if I've sent you something, or I've sent you a note in your grading. So this is the technique that I'm going to use. So don't come back and say, wow, you know, I checked my email and I didn't see anything. Well, you probably checked the wrong one. Here's the discussion forums. I have a few out there. Place to go in and introduce yourself. This is a free forum course feedback where you can come back and say, I was really confused about something. You know, this is kind of public, so don't do anything dumb. Here's my grading feedback forum that I mentioned. I'm going to be going in there and saying, here's some really cool examples of things that are done really well, and here's some really cool examples, or maybe not cool, here's some examples of things that were not done well. So I'm going to provide you both positive and negative feedback through the system, and as I mentioned before, I may throw in an Easter egg or two. So the journal, this is a private thing between you and I. I'm going to ask you questions every week and ask you to create a weekly journal entry to answer those questions. And these tasks are not going to be complicated. They're going to be really simple things just to see if you're paying attention. There'll be something memorable that might happen in a video, or I might say something. And in fact, one of the questions I had in one of my previous examples was, what was the name of my cat? Okay, can you remember that from the last video? Okay. Course calendar, This is kind of cool. It does show where everything is. Yes, it shows the start of the weeks, and that, you know, Sunday the 9th, the syllabus test is due and the sample paper is due. So this is kind of a cool way of keeping up. This is kind of a fake account, so I really can't go to my grade book, really. I mean, here's all the things. So, assignments. I list all the assignments in order of how they're going to appear. Now, as a general rule, the homework assignments appear in Blackboard, you know, 2 weeks before they're due. Papers typically appear 4 weeks before they're due. The exception is at the beginning of the semester, like now. Everything that would have shown up before is going to show up Monday morning. So that's why there's nothing else out here right this very second. Exams, same scenario. I'm showing you all the exams. And these things only show up the week before they're due. Nothing special about that. So that's essentially it. Essentially, once a week, you go down here and you find the week that you're in and you follow the task list. I'm going to give you a task list. Do this, 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 and this. All you have to do is follow along and you're good to go. Okay, let's see if there's anything else in here that is spooky. I don't think so. I think that pretty much well covers it. Well, I guess one more thing. Let's go back to the grade book. I've set this thing up to provide this weighted total. The weighted total basically is going to tell you what your current grade is. The problem is the weighted total, the way it works, is it assumes that the current submissions are the only submissions that exist. Let's say we're halfway through the course and you say, wow, I'm making an A. I don't have to turn in the other stuff on the other half of the, because I'm already at an A. Well, no, it's not the way that works. What happens is if you pass, if you skip a paper or exam or homework assignment, I won't immediately go in there and mark a 0 in that spot because I figured, you might be late. But after a while, I'm going to go back and start punching zeros into that spot, and that's when that weighted total average is going to start to change. So you can say, wow, I got an A. And then you log back in the next day, and you haven't turned in any assignments, and now you got a B. Well, why? Because I've gone through and zeroed out all those things. So this weighted total is like a running average of the things that have been turned in. It doesn't consider at all the things that have not been turned in. So I had an issue with a student who, towards the end of the semester, I started zeroing out all the things that they had missed, and they were appalled. And oh my God, I'm flunking the course. It's like, well, yeah, you missed an exam and 4 homework assignments. What did you expect? Well, my average said I was making a B. Like, well, okay. So I'm explaining that, yes, the weighted average is kind of funky. Okay, so that's essentially it. I'll see you guys in the next video. It's going to be talking about how to do APA papers. So stay tuned.